Welcome to the First Point inaugural tournament. My name is Kevin Pratt. I will be calling the match today. We have Elberta from Alabama versus Jenks High School out of Oklahoma. It is an exciting event going on here, my friends. We're in Austin, Texas at the First Point Challenge. You're going to see it right here on the stream. This is the Pioneer bracket. These are teams that are trying to sanction boys high school volleyball. Right now they are in club and they are trying to get sanctioned. The spirit of the tournament is to celebrate student athletes that are trying to get volleyball going. There's also a legacy bracket that's going on, and we will be covering some of those. So glad you're with us. This should be an exciting match. As you can see, the student athletes are dressed to impress. Slunks donated uniforms for every team. Co-board chair Kenny Rogers set that up. Kids were very excited last night. They got their jerseys and they look great. So big thanks to Slunks. And also Moulton donated over 300 volleyballs, and those volleyballs are gonna go to the programs and they're gonna go back to the States and try to help grow this wonderful sport of volleyball. So we're about to get started here. Again, we have Jenks High School from Oklahoma. They will go back to serve. They'll be serving to Elberta from Alabama. Jenks with the serve. Elberta in system, sets the middle and can't clear the net. That was Brayden Roberts trying to go up for the quick attack. Didn't quite execute. Point goes to Oklahoma. Back to serve for Oklahoma is number 11, Hudson Heathrick. He's the captain. And a back row attack there from Alabama. Goes out of bounds. Oklahoma's on a 2-point run. Hudson's gonna go back to serve. Hudson's a junior, one of the captains of the team. And is running the offense for Oklahoma right now. It's really exciting to see these teams come. The team from Alabama, this is their first time ever having a high school team, and they're all here. Got to meet with the coaching staff yesterday and the student athletes. Bunch of great students and trying to find their way. They're really pioneers for the sport in the state of Alabama. They're going to try to get more teams going out there. Oklahoma's in a similar boat. Both states are football-driven states, and it's really exciting to see student athletes out here playing volleyball at a high level. Hudson's going to go back to serve. It's 2-0. And the set on the outside for Oklahoma. And in the middle, we got a kill for Elberta. That's Brayden Roberts, the middle blocker senior. Nice set there from Brody Morris. And Brody back to serve for Alabama. He gets an ace on the float serve there. So Alabama back to serve. Brody with the serve, float serve, passed up by Oklahoma, sets it on the outside, touched there by Alabama, roll shot from them. Back row attack there from number 12. Wilberforce, one of the captains outside, tried to hit the pipe there, out of bounds. And nice set in the middle. Free ball over for Oklahoma. Oklahoma goes to the middle attack, and a nice little gap set there. Killed by number 6, Jack Prather. It's a nice little free ball in system play. Oklahoma converted. And we got a kill there for Elberta. And that gives the score 4-3 for Alabama. Back to serve for them. Anders with the float serve, Oklahoma with the pass. Nice little tilt set from Hudson. Tried the tilt set over there, but it went over the net. All right, so back to serve is Elberta here, number 32. Anders with the float serve, nice short serve. Free ball coming. Alabama gets them in system, goes back to the middle. And that is point there for Alabama. Brayden Roberts is definitely heating up, the senior middle blocker. Float serve there from Alabama. That's going to be an ace. The float serve has been very effective thus far for Alabama. Oklahoma's server seat is having a little difficult time with that. We'll take a break, my friends, and like I said, just a lot of exciting things going on here at the first point, and we'll be right back after this break. And we're back. It is 8-3, Alabama with the lead. What's really been a key factor for Alabama is their float serving, getting the ball in, and giving Oklahoma fits on with their passing. Here's another float serve, short, doesn't quite get over the net. Back to serve for Oklahoma is Jack Prather, middle blocker, sophomore. And can't clear the net there. Point will go to Elberta. And back to serve is number 17, Brayden Roberts, who's been effective in the middle. He's going to jump serve there. Passed nicely by Oklahoma. They're going to set the opposite. That was Jayden Williams with the swing there. Transition out to the outside. Free ball over. Looks like there was a net violation there on Alabama, so point goes to Oklahoma. So we're going to have a sub right now. Number 8, Kasey Bannister comes in. Looks like Oklahoma will be running a 6-2. Bannister's going to come in and set. That will get Hudson on the right side to hit. Jump serve into the net. So, had a few service errors on both sides. Oklahoma's in that 6-2 offense, 2 setters. Alabama is in that 5-1. Pass made there by Oklahoma. Hudson with the lefty swing right there. Back over, Alabama gets a roll shot. We're gonna go out of system to Oklahoma. Outside to number 12, Wilberforce, the outside. Couldn't find the court there. And again, Alabama is just making fewer errors and keeping that float serve in play. We're gonna have a jump serve here though. Passed up there by Oklahoma, set the outside, Wilberforce. Dug by Alabama. They're gonna go to the right side there. Free ball here and out of bounds there. Setter was front row for Alabama. That was Brody Morris taking a swing at it. Couldn't quite find the court. We point Oklahoma, and it's going to be Owen Phelps, a senior outside hitter, is in to serve. Alabama in rotation 4. Setter is front row. Oklahoma is running that 6-2 right now with their setter back row. Pass made by Alabama and a nice down the line swing. Very nice tempo set there from Brody Morris. And the kill there by Alabama. The float serve. Passed up by Oklahoma. Overpass, and there's that float serve that's giving Oklahoma fits. And another float serve there for Alabama. Again, another overpass. So really the story of the match is Oklahoma's having a little difficult time with that float serve. And Alabama's just steady Eddie keeping it in play. Then they tried the little jump float there, and that was not successful. So it's going to be point Oklahoma. Back to serve is Grant Jordan, the outside hitter, senior. Handled nicely by Alabama. They're going to go to the middle, and that's going to be a kill for Jaden Champion, middle blocker senior. One thing Alabama's done a nice job is when they're in system, they're getting their middles going, and Oklahoma doesn't seem to have an answer for those. Float serve there by Alabama. It's going to be a roll shot, dug by Alabama, and the free ball goes into the net. So Oklahoma will get the point there. Hudson's going to come back and serve for Oklahoma. That means he will be setting now. Jump serve from the lefty, handled by Alabama nicely. They're going to roll shot it into play. Dug up by Oklahoma. Got a right side attack. Nice swing there. And ball comes over, and that's going to be a hitting error for Alabama. Jayden Williams has re-entered the match, and he's got a nice little arm there. Hudson got him the ball. Oklahoma's going to try to make a run back at this. Jump serve from Hudson. The overpass, but it is blocked there by Brody Morrison. Nice play there by Brody on the overpass. And it was a good serving run though there by Hudson, and now Brody's going to take a shot at it. Float serve there. And that was a great job there by Hudson trying to get the middles going. They were about 8 feet off the net, and he was able to run a nice little gap set there for the middle. Back to serve for Oklahoma. We got Heath, the outside freshman. He's going to float serve. Handled there by Alabama. They're going to go to the right side. Roll shot dug by Oklahoma. They're going to go to the right side, and a nice swing from Jaden Williams. That was a nice little free ball transition kill. And the float serve there by Oklahoma, handled by Alabama. They get a swing out of system. Here we go, back row attack. Free ball, Alabama. So free ball didn't quite convert there. Passed it a little too tight in the net. Oklahoma takes advantage there. And a nice little serving run from Heath Hinds, the outside hitter, freshman. Trying to get Oklahoma back in the game there, and the float serve. They're going to go to the right side. Nice little roll shot to the donut, and that will score for Alabama. Kill there was from Anders, the outside. He's going to go back to serve. Float serve there. And again, trying to get that middle established. Alabama handles it. They're going to get a free ball. Let's see if Oklahoma here can convert. Push to the outside. And nice to see Wilberforce, the outside. The senior gets on the board with a kill. So we got 17-13. Alabama handles it. They're going to get a roll shot here. We got a net violation on Oklahoma. So that'll be 18-13. And going back to serve is the middle blocker, Brayden Roberts. He's going to stick with this float serve. Nice pace on that ball. Handled there by Oklahoma. And we got a touch, and that'll be a kill. So a couple of nice swings in the last couple points from Jaden Williams. He will get subbed out. They're going to do their 6-2 switch. That brings Kasey Bannister back to serve. He will be setting. Hudson then will be in the front row, hitting. Jump serve here, and that'll be out of bounds. So Alabama is pretty much at control this whole match, just not as many errors. We got a jump serve there, handled there by Oklahoma. They're going to go out of the middle. And then they're going to go right side to Hudson. Nice cover there from Oklahoma. So in rotation one, if you may, they run a 6-2. They do a little thing where they get Hudson hitting like a free ball as a lefty. And then he goes and transitions over to the right side. So as a guy from California, this is pretty exciting to see a team from Alabama and a team from Oklahoma. Great job at first points done. Their board members came together. Big thanks to Kenny Rogers and Sarah Copeland. Did a great job getting this thing together. We have teams from Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Georgia, Texas, New Mexico, North Carolina. They are all in the Pioneer bracket. The Pioneer bracket, like I said, is teams that are in the process of trying to sanction this sport. They're working diligently. And then we have the Legacy bracket, and I'll name off those teams a little later. It is 20-14 Alabama, and it's going to get a jump serve here, and that'll be a service error. And coming back to serve is Owen Phelps, who just enters the match off the bench. Senior outside. They're going to try to make a little run right here. The float serve, nice little pace. They're going to go outside, and nice corner shot there. So 21-15. And the jump serve is handled there by Oklahoma. They're going to go to Hudson on the right side. Alabama transitions, hits a D-ball there. And free ball cannot be converted, and that's going to be point for Alabama. Here we go. Oklahoma handles the serve. They're going to go outside. Dug up by Alabama. Transition to the outside, and a stellar block there from Hudson Heathrick, the captain. He is definitely a overall gifted player. He's setting, he's hitting, serving, and definitely keeping Oklahoma in the match. We're gonna have a sub, a serving sub. Gavin's gonna come in for Oklahoma. And we got a float serve here. Handled there by Alabama. It was a little tight pass, but setter Brody did a good job dumping it over in the donut, and they got the point. So back to serve. And a float serve there to the right side to Hudson, and a great swing from Hudson. Again, he's definitely one of the key players for this Oklahoma team, the lefty. He's going to try to get back there and jump serve, get Oklahoma out of system, and so I have an opportunity here while they're getting the ball to let you know who's in the legacy bracket. We got Arizona College Prep. We got a team from Colorado. We have Maple Mountain out of Utah. Marquette out of Missouri. Oak Park out of Missouri. We have a team out of Delaware. Windward in California, and Silverton in Oregon. Jump serve made there by Hudson. Handled nicely by Alabama. They tried to go to the middle. They've had a lot of success. They were looking for a touch, didn't quite get it there. So Alabama 23, Oklahoma 18. Another jump serve handled there by Oklahoma. They're going to go to the back row attack, and that finds the court. And we have set point here. Jump serve here from Alabama. That's going to be in for the ace. So Brody finishes off the set. Alabama takes set one against Oklahoma. So again, we can't thank Slunks enough. These guys look real clean in their uniforms, real crisp. Really nice of them. They're based out of Southern California. Kenny Rogers, who is heavily involved in First Point, just set up a meeting with them, and they were just so generous to make these jerseys for the student athletes. Also, the game ball is the Molten ball, and they donated 300 balls for the student athletes. So Alabama gets the win. They're up 1-0. did a really good job establishing the middle and also float serving that Oklahoma couldn't seem to handle it. They would make some runs late, Oklahoma, but they just couldn't score enough, and Alabama, for the most part, had control of the set. We'll be right back after this break. And welcome back. I am Kevin Pratt, representing the First Point, calling the live stream match against Oklahoma versus Alabama in the Pioneer bracket. Had the opportunity to talk to Alabama yesterday for about 15 minutes. They got great vibes there, great coaching staff. Coach Nicky, actually their head coach, was on the USA team and won a gold medal on the sitting USA team. Philip Bryant has been heavily involved in volleyball. He's involved on the women's side, involved with beach, and he has definitely mentored these student athletes. His son is the libero for Alabama, and just a really good group. And you know, they're trying to push their sport in their state. Again, very exciting story. They are the first team to ever be established in their state. On the other side, Oklahoma comes here, and they have a private school league generally for the state of Texas, and I know that there's some Oklahoma teams that are in it. It's pretty competitive, and they play in the fall. Obviously, Texas and Oklahoma are in the hunt trying to get the sport sanctioned, and First Point is helping with that tremendously. So it's been a great tournament, my friends, thus far. Last night we had an opening ceremonies. It was electric, to say the least. The kids did not know that they were going to get the Slunks uniforms. There was an opening ceremonies. I had the great pleasure of calling it, with celebrity Will Ferrell made an appearance, and he was electrifying. And back to the match here. We got a nice little rally. They're going to go to the D ball. Oklahoma handled there by Alabama. Free ball. Let's see if they can convert here. Set to the outside, and two off the block. And that was Pau Sing, the outside. And one thing I've noticed is Oklahoma does go into a 5-1 a little bit too. And Hudson just then was setting a 5-1. Now he's in the back row. The lefty jump serve handled nicely by Alabama. They're going to go out of the middle. Nice little double block there. And a nice read, and that was a block from Jack Prather, and Jayden Williams made a nice read, got a bunch of hands up there, pressed nicely over the net to get the point. Oklahoma's up 2-0, got a jump serve there from Hudson, handled nicely by Alabama. They're going to go to the right side, and that's going to be a kill. So back to serve for Alabama. We got Anders, the outside hitter. Float serve, short. And free ball, let's see how they handle it. Alabama's gonna go to the outside, and Jayden Williams gets the block there. So some key blocks for Oklahoma. They're up 3-1. And we are in set number 2. Alabama won the first set. So the teams are finishing pool play. After pool play, every team will make the playoffs. We will have a Pioneer bracket. And then we'll have a champion announced by the end of the day. The Legacy will also finish up their bracket. Legacy bracket will finish up today, and then they will have the finals there. Tomorrow, there's going to be an awards ceremony, and the famous Karch Karai is going to do a clinic for the boys. I'm telling you, First Point has just done it right. They've given these student athletes a red carpet, and deservingly so. There's so many good people here, a lot of movers and shakers in the sport of volleyball. And it's very exciting to be part of this. So Oklahoma is going to come back and serve. They made a sub. Heath is going to come in, the freshman. Last time he was playing, he went on a nice little run. It's 3-1. Alabama won set 1. He's going to come back and float serve here. Alabama in rotation 2. Out of system here, they're going to go to the outside, and a nice control swing for the kill. Back to serve for Alabama. We have Brayden Roberts. He definitely had a good set, a lot of good kills in the first set out of the middle. Makes the float serve. Hudson goes against the flow and finds Jaden Williams. Those two have a great connection. It is 4-2. Back to serve for Oklahoma. We have number 6, Jack Prather, the middle blocker, sophomore. Float serve there. Handled nicely by Alabama. They're going to jack it back to the right side. Dug by Hudson. We're going to get a roll shot from Oklahoma. Let's see if Alabama can convert. Try to go to the middle. A little miscommunication there and a miss that. Ball goes back over to Oklahoma, and they hit it into the net on the outside there. Looks like Brody and Jaden, they weren't quite in sync on that route, but Brody's done a tremendous job establishing the middles. And nice jump serve there from Alabama, and Oklahoma can't convert. Both teams are having little issues every now and then with free balls and just making plays like that that I'm sure they'd like to take back. Nice little serve there from Alabama. We're going to get a free ball. Let's see if Alabama can convert. They're going to go to the right side D, dug there by Hudson. We got another free ball. Free ball pass there. And they're going to call 4 contacts there. And the down ref there is going to be talking to the up ref. I think they're debating if there were 4 contacts. So let's see what the ref decides here. She is going to award the point to Oklahoma. So we got 5-4. Kasey's going to come in to set for Oklahoma. That'll put Hudson in the front row. He will be hitting on the right side. Looks like Alabama's court captain's chatting with the up ref. And looks like we're back ready to be underway. Alabama's in rotation 4 here. Setter's front row. Oklahoma has got their setter back row. Hudson's right side front row now. And the overpass there. And that's going to be a net violation, so that's going to go point to Alabama. There we go, nice float serve there for Alabama, handled nicely. And they're gonna go outside, hit out of bounds. So in this rotation, it's interesting. They now are gonna have Hudson pass. They're gonna move him up. So they do a little different things to show Alabama here. Hudson just went to pass, and they're gonna go to the middle though, right there. Number 10 there, Reed gets the kill. It sure is nice to have an athlete there like Hudson where he can pass, he can set. And the Oklahoma staff does a good job showing off his versatility. Number 9, Owen Phelps is gonna go back to serve. He's gonna float serve here, handled by Alabama. They're gonna go to the middle and couldn't quite convert. In set 1, Alabama did a real nice job when they were in system. And the pass was good, and they converted and got a lot of kills out of the middle. Alabama handles the serve, and a nice little cutback there. Real nice to see Brody go back and repeat hitter after the air. I always like it when setters do that. Shows the confidence to their athletes there. Float serve there by Alabama, handled. And there has been a lot of overpasses, and I know that these young men are going to continue to improve and find ways to figure out how to handle those overpasses. Alabama gets the ball there, and we got a hitting error. So a few errors, it's gotten slightly sloppy. And Oklahoma is tied up at 8-8. Thang Pi is going to go back to serve. Libero for Oklahoma. The lefty puts it in play on the float. Nice pass there. And Prather gets his hands on it. Alabama's going to get another free ball. And kind of a power tip there from Brayden Roberts. So Brody just kept feeding the middle there, and they eventually got the kill. He's going to go back now to serve for Alabama. Makes float serve, handled by Oklahoma. And they went to the middle there. Jack Prather just hit it a little long there. 2-point run there for Alabama, and the float serve. Free ball, let's see if they can convert. And roll shot here, dug by Oklahoma. They're gonna go to the right side. Hudson puts it in play. Brody sets the back row attack. And that was in. Nice little transition pipe, I would call it. Not necessarily the Bic, but great job, 11-8. Alabama's on a nice little run here with Brody serving. Float serve made, handled by Oklahoma. They're gonna go to Hudson, who did a real nice job tooling the block, finding the edge of the block. And all match, he's been running all kinds of routes. He's been hitting on the right side, right there. He kind of hit in the middle, a free ball, and as a lefty, he's giving Alabama some fits. Got a jump serve there and a nice ace. And just like that, we got ourselves a ball game. Alabama is up 11-10. Jump serve made, and it's going to hit the net. Alabama goes up 12-10. Let's see if they can use that momentum and get up a little more. Float serve will be out of bounds. So we got some subs here. The freshman for Oklahoma is going to come in. Heath has had some success float serving to Alabama. Alabama's here in rotation 2. Setter's back row for them, Brody. Alabama handles it. Goes to the middle. Out of system, set to the right side. Dug up by Alabama. They're going to go to the outside. Roll shot, nice cover. Nice little rally here. Hudson goes and sets to the outside. And that's going to be out of bounds. So Owen tried to tip that deep line. Couldn't quite find the court. Exciting to see these guys playing hard for their state. Brayden Roberts is going to go back and serve for Alabama. We got a float serve here, handled nicely by Oklahoma. They're going to go to the right side. And we've been calling it all night. Hudson to Jaden. Jaden with the right side attack kill. Jack Prather is going to go back to serve here. Alabama's up 13-12. Got a float serve. Handled nicely by the Alabama libero, and set was a little wide, and that will be point for Oklahoma, and we're knotted up at 13. Here we are in set 2. Jack with the serve for Oklahoma. And Brody goes to the right side there for Alabama, and that will be a kill. Jump serve here from Alabama. Handled nicely by Oklahoma. They're going to go to the right side. Jaden, who tips it, finds it in play. Now Oklahoma's got the ball. They're a little out of system here. Free ball. Let's see if Oklahoma can handle it. They're going to go back row attack. And he finds the hands. So a key transition kill for Oklahoma. And entering the match for Oklahoma is the junior setter opposite, Pau Khup. He's going to do a little jump float here. Nice pass there. And Alabama goes to the middle again. Jaden Champion does a nice little tip to the donut right in the middle, finds the floor. And we're 15-14. Alabama's up second set against Oklahoma. Float serve here, handled by Oklahoma, and there's Hudson. In that rotation, they have him hit kind of a lob ball, if you may. And the lefty goes up, and he's done that every time in that rotation. They definitely try to find him there. They've also had him pass in this rotation. He does a lot of things, so we'll see what they do. He's not going to pass right here. Pau is now setting for Oklahoma. Float serve made, and that's going to be a free ball handled by Alabama. They're going to go. He can't convert the free ball there. Hitting there on the left side attacker. And that's going to be point Oklahoma. Oklahoma 15, Alabama 16. Float serve here. And Brody with a very aggressive dump there. Finds the floor. Point Alabama. Now they're up 17-15. Float serve made by Alabama. They're going to go to the right side. Hudson finds, I thought he found hands there, but he hit it out of bounds. It'll be 18-15, and we're going to have a timeout. So Alabama's found a little rhythm there. They're taking advantage of Oklahoma's errors. It is 18-15. We are in set 2 of the Pioneer bracket. And we will have volleyball for you guys all day. Our last match is actually going to be at 9 p.m. So they're already in talks of trying to figure out how to do this next year, which is super exciting. Hats off to Sarah and Kenny for putting this on. The coaches have just been absolutely tremendous. A lot of great people here representing their state and teams. Back to serve, we have Alabama. They are up 18-15. Got a float serve here, handled by Oklahoma. They're going to go to the right side, inside set. Hudson gets his feet to the ball, kind of a tip deep corner. It's a nice side out and much needed for Oklahoma. Oklahoma back to serve here. Float serve. And just missed. So back to serve for Alberta. We have Brody Morrison. He's done a great job setting for his squad and gets a nice ace there. And again, that's a deep float serve that Oklahoma's had a little bit of a challenge handling today. Brody back to serve. Handled nicely there, and a double block there. Looks like Brayden Roberts definitely committed on that. It was a perfect pass. Oklahoma went to the middle. Brayden had his hands up. Nice little block. Pressed over nicely there. 21-16. Timeout there by Oklahoma, and we'll be back after this break. And we are back at the inaugural First Point tournament. I am Kevin Pratt. I have the pleasure to call the Alberta versus Jenks match. We're in set 2. And that's going to be a service error from the squad from Alabama. It is 17-21. Alabama is up. They're in the gray uniforms. On the other, Oklahoma in the red and black. Jump serve there from Hudson. Handled nicely there from Alabama. We've got a swing on the right side. Rattles off the ceiling and kept in play. See if Oklahoma can get a swing there. Free ball handled by Oklahoma. They're going to go to the right side. And a nice little tip that finds the floor. Jaden with another kill. Seems like when they're out of system or they need a big kill, they're always seeming to find Jaden or Hudson, who's getting some good kills for Oklahoma. Jump serve there from Hudson. They go to the middle, Alabama, handled by Oklahoma. They're going to go to the right side again. Jaden. And the free ball wasn't handled nicely by Alabama, so Oklahoma here has 19, Alabama with 21. Alabama's trying to win this second set and therefore win the match. Hudson jump serves there for Oklahoma, handled by Alabama, and a much needed side out there. And that's a huge side out because getting Hudson off the line is important for Alabama. That lefty jump serve is pretty good from Hudson there. But we got Alabama here serving. They're going to be float serving. Handled by Oklahoma there. They're going to go the outside and a block from the right side attacker, or excuse me, the right side blocker there with a block. On the swing there was number 5, Pau Sing. 23-19, Alabama is trying to close this set out. And they're gonna go to Jaden right there. Tip made, they're gonna go outside out of system. Handled by Oklahoma. Push to the outside, roll shot. And a nice little finesse play from Pau right there on the outside. And if you're Oklahoma, you're excited to see Heath back to serve. He's had some nice runs. He's gonna have to go on one right here. Alabama's up 23-20. Float serve here, and look at that, we got an ace. So it trickled off the tape. Brody tried to take it. And that gets some energy there from Oklahoma. You love to see that, some nice bench energy from them. He's gonna go back to serve right here. We got a float serve. Handled by Oklahoma. They're gonna go and set the outside. Doug there in a transition roll shot. Jack gets the overpass, puts it in play. Alabama, let's see if they can convert. They're gonna go to the right side. Nice touch there by Jack to keep the ball in play. Alabama goes to the outside. Doug there, and a nice little rally. But it ends with Alabama scoring. Jack's done a really good job out of the middle, getting touches on the block so Oklahoma can dig the ball. It's really extended rallies for them. Got a float serve here from Alabama, handled by Oklahoma. They're gonna go outside. Oklahoma's gonna get another swing here, roll shot. And Alabama gets a swing, nice little rally here. We're gonna get a tip. So free ball, here comes Oklahoma. They're gonna go to the middle, Jack with a tip there. Oklahoma with the dig. Nice little rally from the guys. Alabama goes to the middle, and it seems fitting that they get a kill out of the middle because they were crushing it in the first set in the middle, and then they finished the match getting a kill from Jaden. That is going to be a victory for Alabama there. We will be back to cover some more matches. It was a pleasure calling that match. Alabama gets the win against Oklahoma.